Tom Taylor and Danielle Di Nicolo put Superman against Henry Bendix as the villain launches an assault against John and his family, forcing the hero to have to think about how he will handle the head of state without causing an international incident. Tom Taylor continues his great first arc for Jonathan Kent's Superman by splitting the book into equal parts big superhero action and investigative mystery. Taylor has been making John's Superman, while more politically active, is also getting into investigative journalism, just like his mother did, while also doing the Superman thing and all the superheroics his father did. It's something I'm very happy they are doing, since it's not just focusing on one singular parental side. Like, John isn't just following his father's footsteps, he's following his mother's footsteps as well, which I'm very happy about. Taylor also kept with the big reveals this issue with revealing that Jay is a post-human, and not only that, working with the Air and Wink, two fantastic characters Taylor created for his amazing Suicide Squad run, and characters that factor into this story about post-humans and human experimentation so damn well, because that's what exactly happened to them. I'm really happy we got to see more of those characters, and I'm looking forward to them becoming a staple of the book. John's interactions with the League was also a lot of fun, and I hope his meeting with Wally West pays off and we get to see them meet a little bit more and becoming good friends, since they have so much in common as they are legacy heroes, both filling the shoes of their own hero, which is really fantastic. Danielle Di Nicolo steps on as artist with some really great anime and manga inspired looking artwork that complements John Tim's previous art for the series, doing some really fun pages like the slow-mo super speed opening of Superman saving his family, as well as all of the stuff near the end of the issue where John tries to save the fireman and all of the cool fire effects that she drew, which just look fantastic on the page. Superman, Son of Kal-El issue 4 was another big issue for John's opening days as Superman, full of more big reveals as well as some really nice balancing between superheroics and relevant investigative journalism that continues to showcase what sets John's Superman apart from his father. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Superman, Son of Kal-El issue 4 finds John helping his grandparents set the table for dinner, knowing that they are all acting like it's totally normal that their son just left the Earth behind. He knows at least they're all pretending together as they sit for dinner, with Jonathan asking how John and Jay met. As they talk, time slows around John as he senses fault line about to hit the home. At super speed, he grabs Martha and Jonathan, but when he grabs Jay, his hand phases right through the man, making him realize that Jay is a post-human. John knows if he can't be hit by anything, he won't be hurt, so he gets his grandparents out of the home as it explodes. He asks if they are okay, telling them that Jay was in the house, knowing that he has to go back and deal with this before they show up. They turn out to be the Justice League, who soon arrive as Hippolyta makes contact with Faultline, smashed into the sky for her troubles. Flash speeds towards the crater where the Kent home used to be, as John knows the home is monitored by the League and nothing should have been able to attack it, wondering why they were so slow yet so fast to react. He races to stop the Flash, beating him to Faultline and telling him she isn't a threat. Flash begs to differ given that Hippolyta is still flying through the sky behind him and they are standing in the crater of his family home. John knows that she is being used as Hippolyta and Green Lantern return. Superman asks Faultline what happened at Star Labs, where they left her to be looked after, and learns that someone took her, finding herself on a plane which she was dropped from. She apologizes for all this, and John knows it's okay since no one was hurt, and he apologizes for this happening since she was meant to be being looked after. Hippolyta knows that she will be in her care now as Green Lantern and Flash talk with the Kents, but they are fine, knowing that they have their lives, their animals are fine, and a lot of the stuff they had like photo albums was all in storage, so they can rebuild. They reassure John that they are fine as they leave to go and stay with their neighbors, telling him to get Jay home. Jay thanks them for having him as Wally meets with John, telling him that he did well today and probably introducing himself. John wonders why he's revealing his civilian identity to him, and Wally says that it's because he knows what it's like to step into the boots of your hero and have all of those doubts about yourself. He knows that he'll be around if John ever wants to talk, since he knows it's sometimes nice to talk to someone who can speak at the speed he thinks. The League leave and Jay decides to broach the fact that he has powers as John begins sifting through the rubble, knowing he's not okay with this since this was his fortress and he spent most of his life there. He tells Jay they knew this could happen, especially after his father told the world who he is, since it meant his enemies became a threat to them all. Jay knows this also goes for anyone he messes with as well, knowing this might not actually be connected to Clark, knowing it's not a coincidence that the strike happened after he had left Earth. He tells John about the story he's working on at The Truth and how Superman is now a big part of that. He calls someone, telling them to meet them in the sky above Metropolis in an hour and to bring the post-human files. John wonders who they are meeting as John and Jay meet with the Air and Wink in Metropolis, finding that they are big fans of Superman. Wink knows that it's nice to see someone else being carried through the air, since it makes the whole thing less awkward. The heroes discuss Faultline and how she wasn't the first post-human Superman found, mentioning the man who was on fire before, and there has to be more of them out there. Jay knows that Henry Bendix lied and bribed and cheated the President of Gamorra, and since then, the nation has been creating post-humans and experimenting on people. Wink knows it's on an island, so international law is hazy, as Air, Wink, and Jay all know they all went through the same thing, but then a Superman-sized spotlight was shone on it all, exposing Bendix, meaning that Bendix probably attacked Superman because he saved the refugees and stood up for them and even got arrested for them. Jay knows he can't prove it yet, but it is possible that he is behind this. Wink passes John a file on everything they have related to the post-humans, from first-hand accounts to years of research. John finishes reading it all in a second, with Wink knowing that that was a lot of work they did, so maybe he could read it twice. John asks if he can take this with him, and Jay trusts him with it as Superman leaves. The Air asks if John is joining The Truth, and Jay certainly has a plan for that if he does. John takes the information to his mother, who looks it over, finding it well researched but not a smoking gun. She knows that if they can find out who took Faultline from Star Labs, that would be something, but John knows he's seen enough, since Bendix attacked his grandparents, and if he was any slower, they would be dead, and if his father was there, he would do something. Lois knows that he's not, and this isn't some costumed villain. Bendix is the president of a nation, and isn't someone you just confront. John knows that that's what the man believes, and he believes he will never be held accountable for hurting all of those people, and he doesn't believe his mother would let him stand by and let that happen. Lois knows him far too well for that, but she wants her son to take a deep breath and think with a level head and try not to cause an international incident. John says he just wants to talk, heading to Gamorra where he confronts Bendix, who knows that he can't believe the hero is so idiotic to come and confront him. He demands the villain tell him he ordered the attack on Jonathan and Martha Kent, but Bendix knows that he can't be threatened since he's the head of state. John makes it clear he's not threatening, just wanting his questions answered. The villain smugly says that he wouldn't harm anyone since Gamorra is a peaceful nation, and Superman's idealism has been preyed upon by those so-called refugees who fled his justice system since they were all criminals. Superman knows that they weren't criminals, knowing the man is lying thanks to his heartbeat and pulse, and lying must just come second nature to him. Superman leaves, getting his answers as Bendix orders his people to activate something. Superman hears someone cry out in Gamorra, racing into the city to investigate. He rips the door off a building, finding the fireman from the forest. He tries to help the man as he finds the heat is really intense and different than before. John finds the heat too much as the man tells him this heat doesn't belong to him, it was for John. John is blasted by lasers as he realizes he was led into a trap. He blasts out of the top of the building as he finds something burning within him, but it's not hurting him. He x-rays his hands, seeing whatever energy Bendix hit him with being processed by his body's cells. He suddenly unleashes an overcharge of energy via heat vision blast as his super hearing is amplified, letting him hear everyone around the world calling for help, and he has no way to block it out.